Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about vector addition and subtraction. So for vector addition, it's like you have a vector, maybe one going like this, and then maybe you have another vector going, I don't know, like this. And then you're going to add them, we say we add them tip to tail. So I always remember that. So you add vectors by taking the one vector, and then you're going to move the second vector so that the tip of the first vector, where the arrow is, matches to the tail of the other vector. Now I'll have to kind of just eyeball it there, so hopefully those two orange vectors look the same. So that's how you do it visually. You add tip to tail, we say. Then there's what's called the resultant vector. So the resultant, and then how do you know which way to go? You're going to go from the tail of the first vector to the tip of the second vector. So that green vector represents the addition of the black vector and the orange vector. Okay, I didn't label them U and V, but I can. So this would be like vector U and V, and then this green vector would be U plus V. Okay? Now, when we want to subtract, well, we're not going to. So U minus V would be the same thing as U plus the opposite of V. So how do you find the opposite of the vector? Well, I have a little grid here to show it. So say you have a position vector that's going like that from the origin, and then this is out here at 1, 3. Well, then the opposite's going to be the opposite of 1 and the opposite of 3. So it's going to be down here going this way. So those should all be in alignment there. It doesn't look very good because of my drawing, but what you did is you just kind of flipped the vector in the other direction, right? Okay, so this is down here at -1, -3. And I can actually use square brackets to indicate this. Well, not square, but those pointy brackets to indicate that, that it's in standard position, okay? And then you would take that vector and add it to U, wherever the U vector is. Okay, so it's a little bit easier to do this, although they like us to draw things out, because in the real world, a lot of times you have to get a picture of what's going on. And the great thing about vectors is you can pick them up and move them. So I'm going to try to do both. And on this example, I'll give you the kind of algebra way, and then I'll try to give you the picture of what's going on. Okay, so it gives us two vectors. Those are both position vectors. And they want us to find U plus V and then U minus V. Okay, so U plus V is going to equal 3, -2 plus -1, 4. And we say we add the components. So you add x to x, y to y. And so this is going to be the resultant 3 plus -1 and -2 plus 4. Or 2, 2. Okay, now let's see what that looks like as a picture. So if I take this first position vector, 3, -2, so 3, -2, and I say that that is vector U. Now, the position vector V, sorry, is -1, 4. So it would look like this, right? But now you've got to pick it up so that it's matching tip to tail, right? Okay, so I'm going to have to like flip it around and things like that. So it's going to be, my tail's going to be here, and then I'm going to go 1 and down 4. So it'd be like there. Okay, the resultant vector is right here. Okay, that's the initial thing there. Okay, and that doesn't look like U 2, 2, does it? Oh, because I flipped it. So I got my diagrams backward. This is going to be u minus v. Okay, so this is a long video, so we'll just keep it there. So I already did the u minus v, and why is that? Because I flipped the green vector over. So let me show you the addition on the other one. So go back to your u vector. What was it again? 3, negative 2. Okay, and then my green vector was negative 1, 4. Okay, this time don't flip it over. So put your tail here and then go up 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. Okay, so see how it's just, I wish I could just pick it up for you and show you. But here's the vector in standard position, and then we picked it up and we moved it so that the tip and tail match. So that's going to give you the resultant right here, and that is 2, 2. Okay, so that's that vector. So that's u plus v, and it matches to that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do, we already did the picture, but we'll do u minus v, or u plus the opposite of v. And so what's that going to look like? Well, u will still be the same, 3, negative 2. And then we're going to have the opposite of negative 1, 4. So as you might suspect, that's going to look like this. Ooh, forgot to make the pointy bracket. It's going to be the opposite of the x value, so that'll be 1, and the opposite of the 4 value for y, which is going to be negative 4. Okay, and now we can add those, and what do we get? Well, 3 plus 1 is 4, and negative 2 and negative 4 is negative 6. So hopefully that u minus v looks like that vector right there. Got all these arrows going. But that looks right. It looks like it's 4, negative 6, huh? Okay, so yay.